Welcome back to our channel where our goal is to help you and ourselves lose weight with the keto lifestyle.
We do videos to share our ideas, recipes, product reviews, and for moral support for people like you who might be starting their keto journey along with us.
So don't forget to like and subscribe and get ready.
Set keto.
All right, so this is how to keto. But we are not telling you how to keto. We are saying what I would tell myself if I could go back in time.
Yes. Some helpful tips on getting started.
Yes, this is how I would tell myself how to keto. This is what to do. All right, so first off, don't do it alone.
Find somebody who might have already started the keto journey, who's done it in the past. Find a friend, a family member, a social media group. Find somebody on YouTube like us or on Facebook or Instagram.
Like us. Ready, Set Keto Facebook group. So, yeah, keto is very popular right now. Either someone you know is doing it or has done it, and do it with them. When should you start keto? Now. Don't wait another day. Don't wait until the weekend splurge is over, because that's just a couple more pounds that you have got to lose.
And if you start today and mess up tomorrow, get right back on it.
Don't mess up tomorrow. All right. So the easiest way that I found was 30 carbs or less, total carbs, a day, and 20 net carbs or under a day. So 20 net carbs. You take your total carbs, subtract your dietary fiber, your sugar, alcohols. That leaves you with a smaller number, and that is a net carb. Eggs are like one net carb. Bacon is like no net carbs. So when you go grocery shopping, you're going to stay on the outside. You're going to get green leafy vegetables such as asparagus, broccoli,
Lettuce, Brussels sprouts.
Brussels sprouts. You are going to eat meat. You are going to eat cheese.
You can have sour cream.
Things like that. Meat, cheese, eggs. That's all pretty much freebies. You can, fill up on them. The keto snacks are fine, but you have to limit them.
I found them to be helpful at first because there's still things that you want or that you crave, and I found myself looking for keto options.
Don't be fooled.
Don't be fooled.
A keto candy bar is not going to replace a Reese's cup.
No. So, and those things can definitely be setbacks.
That's why the 30 total carbs are there, because you can have something that has 30 total carbs, but it says, only 3 or 4 net carbs. Well, that's fine, but that's your carbs for the day, if that's what you choose.
Yeah.
Other than that, it's pretty simple.
That's a hard pill to swallow at first.
30 carbs or less, and you'll do great.
Yes.
Now, one of the things that helped us in the beginning, I lost 8 pounds the first week. I lost 4 pounds the next week. The third week, I lost 0.8 pounds. And when I started researching through forums and other YouTube videos, I found that I was not eating enough fat. Once I started eating more fat, I started to feel better. I kicked the Keto Flu, and the weight loss continued.
Yes. That, to me, is probably the hardest thing, is to eat enough fat.
When you stop taking stop eating carbs, your body will start to dump water. You will lose most of the first couple weeks. Weight loss is water weight, so you have to replace that water. You have to drink more fluids than you normally would to keep it going. With that said, you also have to replace your salt and your electrolytes, your magnesium, your potassium, and your sodium. So I had horrible leg cramps if I didn't get potassium and magnesium.
It didn't affect me as much, but it definitely affected him.
I was miserable until I started supplementing, making sure I had the potassium and the magnesium that I needed.
Yes.
And salt. When you're going to the restroom more and you're getting rid of water weight, you're getting rid of the sodium that you need. So salt it to taste. When we started keto, we went into our cupboard and we gave
A lot.
We gave grocery hauls. Every time people came over, we gave them multiple bags of groceries. Take this.
Get the junk out of the house.
We had cereal. We had 20-pound bags of rice.
We had pasta.
We had a whole kitchen completely full with hundreds of dollars of stuff that we could not eat and was not going to eat any longer.
Right. So get rid of it. Either throw it away or give it to somebody who could use it. Give it to a food pantry.
The Keto Snacks, I have a problem with chips and things like that. The Keto Snacks, while they're good, a Keto Snack for me was just one after the other. And I used to tell her, we can't have these kind of things here.
He doesn't have self-control.
Especially chips. I'm a chipaholic. I could eat chips all the time. Next thing you know, the half a bag is gone. I'm way over my carbs. My weight loss stalled. You can have the snacks, but just
limit yourself.
Yes, limit them. Get rid of all your bad stuff. Get it out so that you don't have to see it on a daily basis, because I'm a foodie, and if it's here, I will eat it. Cheat meals. When we started, I believe one of the things that really hindered us was
absolutely
we rewarded ourselves on a weekly basis based on if we lost weight. If we lost weight, we would go out and have Mexican food or whatever.
Chinese food.
Yes.
We would have a meal.
We would have one meal, not a day. We would have one cheat meal as a reward. Mm-hmm. And what that did was, while it did give us something to look forward to, it never really let our bodies get adjusted to our new way of eating. You know, now several months in, I can have a cheat meal and roll right on with it. But in the beginning, I would eat a cheat meal and I would feel horrible for a couple days.
Mm-hmm.
But I look forward to it so much that I continuously punished myself. So now when if we do have a cheat meal, it's weeks apart. It's not 1 week apart. Mm-hmm. And another thing is we'd get on the scale after the cheat meal, and we always had our cheat meal on Saturday. Well,
you could be down 3 pounds and have a cheat meal and get on the scale the next day and you're up a pound from that Friday.
And that's not necessarily, you didn't really gain that weight. It's just that your body holds the water once you introduce carbs. So it takes a few days and you start to feel bad. When you go without holding an extra 10, 12 pounds of water, like I probably was, and you get rid of that, and then you have a cheat meal and you get 3 pounds of water because your body immediately holds water as soon as you start to intake carbs again.
It's still so discouraging, especially when you're doing a keto diet for the purpose of losing weight. Now, since we've started, it's become more than just losing weight. We feel better.
Oh, it's way better. And so the more and more that we put cheat days behind us and start doing keto for multiple weeks, stringing multiple weeks at a time in between cheat meals, we started to notice that when we did have a cheat meal, how her feet would hurt, just different things, you know. You just feel bad, tired, things like that.
Lethargic, tired, inflammation.
Yes, you can cheat.
But you're going to pay for it.
Yes, you shouldn't. And you won't notice how much you really pay for it until you're maybe a month or two in. And you realize how good you feel, and then you have that cheat meal.
Right.
So going back in time, I would not reward myself. With a cheat meal.
Yes.
At least not on a weekly basis, maybe a monthly basis. So, you know, it's nice to go out and do something like that every now and then.
And sometimes you might be invited to go out with somebody, but there's almost always a keto option. Um, Even if it's just getting a burger and getting broccoli instead of fries and taking the bun off. You
See,
can do it. He says he can't do it.
I prefer to not go out because when
He has little self-control.
I want the bloomin' onion when I go out and I see it.
Right.
So,
But it is possible. It's something I could do, but he couldn't. So we're all different.
on this diet, you have to meal prep. You're going to want to, on Sunday, I usually got 3 or 4 meals for lunches and stuff
Mm-hmm.
made in advance. And that's where, a big griddle or something where you can cook multiple meals at a time.
Right. But that also depends on your preference. He would rather bring burgers or pork chops or something like that to work with him. Whereas I'm the type that I want to bring hard-boiled eggs and roast beef lunch meat with me.
What works for me is during the week, Monday through Friday, I am almost full carnivore.
Mm-hmm.
And then on the weekends, I'm keto. So
Right.
that's just what works for me.
So while cheat meals can feel rewarding at the time, you end up having setbacks and you pay for those cheat meals.
All right. And I do want to circle back to something. There is a thing called the Keto Flu. Now, I don't know if that's really any form of to my knowledge, what that is an in between when your body is kind of going, it's a transition from you burning carbohydrates as your energy to fat. So there's like a period when your body might be confused and feel like it's starving before it switches over.
And starts burning the fat instead of the carbohydrates.
So there is a few days where you'll feel extremely tired and just you'll feel bad for a couple of days. It's like until your body starts to burn fat.
And this doesn't affect everybody. From what I've read about it, not everybody has the same symptoms, and not everybody really suffers.
In the past, I had quit this diet in years past because I get to about the 2-week point and I would call her and be like, man, I just can't do this anymore. I feel horrible.
And then, of course, I would quit doing it because it's hard doing it by yourself, like we said from the start.
And one of the things that I realized also by watching other people is what makes me feel good is a 1-to-1 ratio.
Mm-hmm.
And that is a 1-to-1 protein to fat ratio. So what I follow is my goal weight is 200 to 210 pounds. So I'm shooting for at least 200 grams of protein and 200 fat and carbs as your energy. If I eat a bunch of protein and I don't eat the fat and I'm not eating carbs, my body has no energy.
Right.
So that's where a lot of times, I'll put butter on things. Sometimes you just need to eat more.
Mm-hmm.
And 200 grams or even whatever your goal, if your goal is 150, 150 grams of protein sometimes, you actually have to work for that.
It's hard. It can be really hard.
That's a lot of food. So anyway, this is part 1. There's several things that we'd like to say, so there will be an addition. And if you're starting it, comment down below, let us know.
Right. Try to keep it simple. Keep your total carbs under 30. Drink lots of water.
Yeah.
Get some supplements to help with your potassium and your magnesium, and things like that. Don't be afraid of salt.
And don't worry about, in your first week or two, don't worry about clean keto
versus dirty keto.
If you're eating hot dogs, eat hot dogs. It's still better than Little Debbie cakes. So, anything else?
No, don't be afraid to ask people ask people questions. What worked for them, or look up videos. Try different things. See what works for you.
And one additional thing, the last thing I will say is, it doesn't have to be now, but you should think about maybe getting rid of the canola oil and the soybean oils.
But that's a later video.
That's later. But if you have them, use them. We used what we had, and then we switched over to avocado oil and olive oil and we cook with ghee. Lard is good, but from everything I know, the seed oils need to, you need to think about in the future to try to buy a healthier oil.
Right.
So anyway, that's it today.
And
And what?
we'll see you next time.
We'll see you next time. Take care.